Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video where we talk about really bad skincare. So I got inspired by Hyram, who does a ton of these videos. I will leave his channel linked down below. What I did basically is I took a little stroll around Pinterest and I found some truly heinous skincare advice, skincare DIY recipes that I think are truly horrible. And honestly, it did not take that much time at all to find these DIY skincare recipes. Also, in addition to a skincare recipe, I have like a skincare informational graphic that I think I wanted to talk about because I need to address something about alcohol in skincare. Okay, so without further ado, let's just dive right in. So the first one is this cute little picture of 3 DIY skincare recipes. So there's a makeup finisher, a toner, and an astringent. So let's start with the makeup finisher. Now these makeup finishers in general, setting sprays, generally contain a glycerin, which is a very water-loving type of molecule. It's a humectant, which means that it loves water. It's hydrophilic. And so glycerin really hydrates the skin and imparts a glow on the skin because it's so deeply hydrating. However, this spray that they talked about is just going to irritate your skin, and here's why. Lavender essential oil. First of all, I don't even know why this is in here besides the fact that it just smells good. Lavender literally has no sort of physiological benefit to the skin, period. And also, I'm imagining that the base of this makeup finishing spray is water. So basically they took water, or maybe rose water, and they mixed lavender essential oil in it. This is a recipe for disaster. So as you probably know, in chemistry, there's this principle called like dissolves like. So water loving molecules, hydrophilic molecules will dissolve in water, and then hydrophobic molecules or oil loving molecules will dissolve in oil. Oil and water don't mix. So if you ever made a salad dressing, you know that the oily component does not mix with the watery component. You can shake it up and make sort of like an emulsion, but then after like a couple of minutes, the 2 layers will separate. You always want to dilute any sort of essential oil if you're using it for aromatherapy on pulse points in the body. You always want to dilute it in a carrier oil, not water. And the reason why water is a really bad idea to mix with an oil is because essentially what you're doing is creating these undiluted pockets of oil. So essential oils in general are very harmful for the skin, especially undiluted essential oils can cause almost burn-like reactions on the skin, which is really scary to think about, especially with this because it's a makeup finishing spray. You obviously apply makeup to your face, which means that you're going to spray this finishing spray all over your face. Which means you're going to be spraying essential oils all over your face, including undiluted pockets of essential oils. So we move on to the toner next. And so toner is kind of interesting because I personally believe that toners are not entirely necessary with today's modern day cleansers. Now the point of a toner, like way back in the day, was to regulate your pH to bring it back to an acidic level, because cleansers back in the day used to be very alkaline and used to be very stripping on the skin, and so they would cause your pH balance to be kind of thrown off. But nowadays, toners are used as like an acid toner in order to deliver AHA or BHA ingredients to the skin, and then also to deliver any sort of hydrating, moisturizing ingredients to the skin. It's just a way, an extra step you can do to deliver ingredients to the skin. And the sun is coming out. I'm sorry. I kind of feel like an angel with the sun shining down on me. So this contains grapefruit essential oil. And like I've said like a million times before, basically the mantra of this channel is that essential oils are bad. They are not good for the skin. Essential oils can be great for regulating stress and helping you sleep better because, you know, when you apply it to your pulse points, I will not lie, aromatherapy is very powerful. However, from a physiological benefit on the skin, essential oil do nothing besides just irritate the crap out of your skin. And then lastly, we have an astringent with tea tree oil and also lavender essential oils. Now, tea tree oil is kind of hit or miss. It can really work for some people, it can really not work for some people. I happen to be one of those people where tea tree oil really works for me in order to prevent and kind of treat acne. Tea tree oil works in the way that it is a very powerful antibacterial agent. So I kind of understand why they put tea tree oil in this. However, the part that scares me about this is the lavender essential oil and also the witch hazel. Now, witch hazel is commonly extracted with alcohol, and so this witch hazel product commonly has a ton of alcohol in it. So not all alcohols are bad, which I will actually touch on in my next point, but alcohol is a surefire way to dry your skin out if you're applying it directly to your skin. So all in all, these 3 skincare ideas are really, really bad. Don't DIY these at all. Do not recommend. Okay, next we come up with this really cute little graphic, and it says good alcohols and bad alcohols. So bad alcohols is a little bit misleading, and here's why. And if you've already seen my video all about the truth about alcohol and skincare, then you can skip this part of the video because I'm just gonna reiterate what I said there. And I will link that video down below if you feel like getting a more in-depth knowledge of how alcohol works in skincare. But essentially, it is true that the alcohols on the left, the good alcohols, are good. They're very moisturizing, they impart in emollients to the skin, they're important for kind of stabilizing the product and making sure that everything is mixed in really nicely. However, I think on the right side of the list, the bad alcohols column is a little bit misleading because there's no such thing as a bad alcohol in my opinion. Like I've said a bunch of times before, the dose makes the poison. So if you apply a ton of alcohol or like a very alcohol heavy toner to your skin, yeah, it's gonna be bad for your skin. It's gonna dry your skin out a ton. But in small amounts, alcohol is actually really, really important for the formulation of skincare products. Alcohol can help with the texture of products. It's also a penetration enhancer, which means that it helps, you know, these really important active ingredients to penetrate deeper into the skin. And alcohol also, like I said, is really important for enhancing the texture of a product. And so you know from first-hand experience that if something doesn't feel good on your skin, you're probably not gonna use it. So you need to have, you know, these alcohols in a lot of skincare products in order to create a more lightweight texture that's a lot more pleasing on the skin. So if you see alcohol in an ingredients list, don't run. I want you to kind of take a moment to evaluate where it is in the ingredients list. If it's very high up in the ingredients list and yet the texture of the product is very creamy, it's very buttery, it's very moisturizing, then take that with a grain of salt and just understand that the formulation of the product is telling you that it's going to be very moisturizing. The fact that alcohol is in it is not damning. So don't run if you see alcohol in an ingredients list. Only run if you have alcohol being applied directly to your skin. And in that case, sprint. Okay, the next one is a DIY Glam Glow face mask. And first of all, I don't even know why you would DIY a Glam Glow face mask because the reviews on Glam Glow are really bad. People don't like them. The ingredients in the Glam Glow face masks are awful. So I don't know why you would try to DIY it when the product itself that's sold at Sephora is like truly awful. So, okay, the first ingredient is coconut oil. And coconut oil is a very controversial ingredient because it can break people out. It can be very comedogenic on some people, but for some people it can be really, really fantastic. So it's one of those very polarizing ingredients. It's up to you and you need to test it out for yourself to see if coconut oil works for you or not. So also this recipe includes peppermint and eucalyptus oil, which smell incredible. I love those 2 scents. I think peppermint and eucalyptus oil are so invigorating and so relaxing and calming on the nerves. But in skincare, absolutely not necessary. And in fact, these are super, super irritating. So I won't repeat myself too much. Then it says you can use these boosts. So you can use a glycolic acid or lemon essential oil. Now, here's the thing, glycolic acid and lemon essential oil are not the same thing. They don't do the same thing at all. So glycolic acid, when stabilized at the right pH with the right ingredients with it, does wonders for the skin. It's an AHA or an alpha hydroxy acid, which means that it resurfaces the surface of the skin to reveal bright, shiny new skin cells. But lemon essential oil, not so much. It's not very exfoliating like glycolic acid is. It doesn't have that chemical capability in order to undo the glue between skin cell layers. And then additionally, salicylic acid and tea tree oil, it conflates the two and says that they're interchangeable. Again, they're absolutely not the same thing. Salicylic acid is beta hydroxy acid. Again, it's an acid. Tea tree oil is not an acid, it's an antibacterial agent. So they're absolutely not the same thing at all, nor do they have the same effect on the skin. So with glycolic acid, with the lemon essential oil, and then the tea tree oil and the BHA or salicylic acid, the mechanisms of all 4 are so, so different. I don't know why the person who created, you know, this little DIY recipe is trying to conflate the Two, because they're just not the same at all. And then lastly, this is the last one I'm gonna bore you guys with because it's, I don't like it. So this is a DIY facial toner and it looks really, really simple, and I was like, okay, fine. Obviously, you know, they have to include lemon. All these stupid recipes have lemon in it. I don't know what lemon ever did to deserve this much fame and recognition, but lemon is not good. Don't do it. So here's what I find to be super dangerous about DIY skincare is the lack of preservatives and the lack of stabilizers. I find the lack of those two ingredients to be incredibly dangerous. So this graphic says you can keep it in the fridge for up to a week to reuse, and like, you'll probably be fine without any preservatives for a week if you keep it in the fridge. But the thing is that most people, or at least I, if I had like a ton of my DIY toner left over, I'm gonna continue to use it. So I doubt most people would throw out their skincare after a week, which is really scary because bacteria and fungus and mold can really thrive in these aqueous, watery environments. And so you can find a buildup of these contaminants in there which can really, really wreak havoc on your skin. Preservatives are so necessary to preserve the safety and the integrity of the product. Anytime you see people hating on preservatives, just look at it with a very critical eye because preservatives are absolutely necessary for the safety of your health. So my problem with DIY skincare, especially the DIY skincare that I have found on Pinterest, is that, you know, these people are not well educated about skin physiology or about skin biology. They don't understand that these ingredients, such as essential oils and lemon and stuff like that, is really, really harmful for the skin. And then also the lack of preservatives is so scary because you can get a serious infection from any sort of bacterial or fungal or mold growth from your skincare product. So that wraps up all of these horrible DIY Pinterest recipes for skincare that I found online. Hopefully this video was a little bit entertaining. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did learn something new, definitely give this video a thumbs up and comment down below that you want to see more of these videos. If you have any links to some really awful DIY skincare, I would love to see and hate on it so I can do more videos like this in the future. If you aren't subscribed, I highly recommend that you do subscribe. I am uploading twice a week now. Gonna bump it up to 3 times a week in the near future. So if you want to see more of these skincare videos, then definitely subscribe. I like to base my skincare commentary all in chemistry, all in biochemistry, because that is my forte. I did study chemical engineering in university, which means that I learned a thing or two about chemistry. So I'm going to wrap up this video now because the sun is really coming out, but thank you guys so much for watching and spending this time with me. Have a beautiful week and I will see you in my next video. Bye!